Hello guys, how are you all? Welcome to my channel Cracking IELTS 9.0. Today I'll be discussing Cambridge 15 test for reading passage 2 of the academic reading module. The heading says Silbo Gomero, the whistle language of the Canary Islands. The first set of questions we have are true, false and not given. And the second set of questions that we have today are fill-ups. So without wasting any time, let's jump to the first question. So La Gomera is the most mountainous of all the Canary Islands. Okay, so what are the keywords here? He's talking about some La Gomera, right? He's the most mountainous of all the Canary Islands. So he says this is the most mountainous island of all the islands, right? So let's check it, whether it's true, false or not given. So La Gomera is one of the Canary Islands situated in the Atlantic Ocean off the northwest coast of Africa. This small volcanic island is mountainous with steep rocky slopes and deep wooded ravines rising to 1487 meters at its highest peak. It is also home to the best known of the world's whistle languages, a means of transmitting information over long distances, which is perfectly adapted to the extreme terrain of the island. Wow. So we have something called mountainous, right? We read about La Gomera. This small volcanic island is mountainous with steep rocky slopes and these things. But is it the most mountainous? Is it given anywhere in the passage that it is the most mountainous island? It's not given, right? It is one of the mountainous islands, but it is not the most mountainous, and it is not given in the passage. Okay, that's what I mean to say. So the answer should be not given, right? Next, Silbo is only appropriate for short and simple messages. Note the word only. This is the keyword here, guys. Silbo is only appropriate for short and simple messages. Let's see. This language, known as Silbo or Silbo Gomero, from the Spanish word of whistle, is now shedding light on the language processing abilities of the human brain, according to scientists. Researchers say that Silbo activates parts of the brain normally associated with spoken language, suggesting that the brain is remarkably flexible in its ability to interpret sounds as a language. Right? Let's read further. Science has developed the idea of brain areas that are dedicated to language, and we are starting to understand the scope of signals that can be recognized as a language, says David Corina, co-author of a recent study and associate professor of psychology at the University of Washington in Seattle. Okay, let's read further. Silbo is a substitute for Spanish with individual words recoded into whistles which have high and low frequency notes. A whistler or silbador puts a finger in his or her mouth to increase the whistle's pitch, while the other hand can be cupped to adjust the direction of the sound. There is much more ambiguity in the whistle signal than in the spoken signal, explains lead researcher Manuel Carreras, psychology professor at the University of La Laguna on the Canary island of Tenerife. Because whistled words can be hard to distinguish, silbadors rely on repetition as well as awareness of context to make themselves understood. Okay, let's read further. The silbadors of Gomera are traditionally shepherds and other isolated mountain folk, and their novel means of staying in touch allows them to communicate over distances of up to 10 kilometers. Carreras explained that silbadors are able to pass a surprisingly amount of information via their whistles. Wow! Finally, we came to the answer. See, they are able to pass surprising amount of information, means very large or huge amount of information they can pass. Also, they can communicate over distances of up to 10 kilometers. So it is not for short and simple messages. Okay. It can transmit surprisingly high amount of information, right? So Silbo is only appropriate for short and simple? No. It can transmit long and surprisingly high amount of information. So this is clearly false, as this sentence is contradicting with what is given in the passage, right? Next, in the brain activity study, Silbadors and non-whistlers produced different results. So he's talking about Silbadors and non-whistlers. They produced different results. Okay, let's read further. In daily life, they use whistles to communicate short commands, but any Spanish sentence could be whistled. Okay, here also we have the confirmation, because it is not only for short commands, but any Spanish sentence, any lengthy sentence can be converted into the whistle language. Okay, so Silbo has proved particularly useful when fires, okay, when fires have occurred on the island and rapid communication across large areas has been vital. Okay, let's read the next passage. The study team used neuroimaging equipment to contrast the brain activity of Silbados while listening to whistled and spoken Spanish. The results showed, okay, we are looking for these results now. The results showed the left temporal lobe of the brain, which is usually associated with spoken language, was engaged. So left temporal lobe was engaged during the processing of Silbo. The researchers found that other key regions in the brain's frontal lobe also responded to the whistles, including those activated in response to sign language among deaf people. Okay, when the experiments were repeated with non-whistlers, okay, however, activation was observed in all areas of the brain. Okay, now we have some difference, right? So when Silbados were experimented, what was the result? The left temporal lobe was engaged and the front lobe also responded, right? But when the non-whistlers were experimented, all areas of the brain responded. So what do you think is the answer? Is it the same result or different result? What do you think? Obviously it's a different result, right? So in the brain activity study, Silbados and non-whistlers produced different results. Yes, of course they produced different results. So 16th one should be true. The Spanish introduced Silbo to the islands in the 15th century. Okay, who introduced? He says Spanish introduced Silbo to the islands in the 15th century. Let's read further. Okay, we have something 15th century here, right? Okay, so you can read from this passage. Carreras says the origins of Silbo Gomero remain obscure, but that indigenous Canary islanders who were of North African origin already had a whistled language when Spain conquered the volcanic islands in 15th century. Wow, I think we just got the answer, right? But that indigenous Canary islanders already had a whistled language. Okay, they already had a whistled language when Spain conquered it in 15th century. Okay, they already had. Spanish didn't introduce them, right? The Spanish introduced Silbo to the islands? No, they already had. So what is the answer for this? Clearly it is false, right? Great guys, great going. Next one. There is precise data available regarding all of the visual languages in existing today. So what are the keywords? There is precise data available regarding all of the visual languages existing today. Okay. Visual languages survive today in Papua New Guinea, Mexico, Vietnam, Guyana, China, Nepal, Senegal, and a few mountainous pockets in southern Europe. There are thought to be as many as 70 visual languages still in use, though only 12 have been described and studied scientifically. Wow. Yes, we got our answer. What is the answer, guys? Can anyone of you guess? There are thought to be as many 70 visual languages still in use, though only 12 have been described. So do you think all the visual languages have precise data? No. There are total 70 languages, but we have precise data of only 12 precise data available regarding all the languages? No. There is no data of all the languages, so it is false. This one is contradicting with the statements, hence it is false. The children of Gomero now learn Silbo. So children now learn Silbo. This is what we are looking for. Let's read the last paragraph. But with modern communication technology now widely available, researchers say Visual languages like Silbo are threatened with extinction. With dwindling numbers of Gomero Islanders still fluent in the language, Canary's authorities are taking steps to try to ensure its survival. Since 1999, Silbo Gomero has been taught in all of the island's elementary schools. Wow. In addition, locals are seeking assistance from the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization UNESCO. The local authorities are trying to get an award from the organization to declare as something that should be preserved for humanity. Wow. So, where did we come across school children, guys? It is here. Since 1999, Silbo Gomero has been taught in all of the island's elementary schools. Wow, has been taught. Okay, so what do you think is the answer? So now the children of Gomera now learn Silbo? Yes, they are learning now. It has been taught since 1999. Okay, so these are the fill-ups we have. So how Silbo is produced. High and low frequency tones represent different sounds in Spanish dash. You have read something about the high and low frequency tones in the fourth paragraph, right? So what is this? Silbo is a substitute for Spanish with individual words recoded into vowels which have high and low frequency tones. Yes, we have the answer in the first sentence itself. Can you guess what is it, guys? Yes, Spanish individual words. So the words of the Spanish language, right? So high and low frequency tones represent different sounds in the Spanish words. Okay. Silbo is a substitute for Spanish with individual words recoded into vowels. So the words are recoded into vowels here. Okay. So the words are becoming the vowels in high frequency and low frequency tones. So for the first one should be right. Words. Next one, pitch of whistle is controlled using Silbador's dash. So we are looking for the pitch of the whistle. A whistler or Silbador puts a finger in his mouth to increase the whistle's pitch, while the other hand can be cupped to adjust the direction of the sound. So what is the answer, guys? So he puts a finger to increase the whistle's pitch. So finger is our answer. So whistle is controlled by Silbador's finger, right? Next, dash is changed with a cupped hand. Okay, we have just read about it, right? With the other hand can be cupped to adjust the direction of the sound. So the answer is direction. We are allowed to write only one word, so direction is the answer. Okay. In everyday use of the transmission of brief dash, so how Silbo is used, how it is used in everyday use for the transmission of brief dash. Brief is one of the keyword and transmission is another keyword. Let's look at that. Let's read this sentence. In daily life, they use whistles to communicate short commands. Short commands. But any Spanish sentence could be whistled. So what do you think is the answer, guys? Short means brief. Communicate means transmission. So communicate short commands. Transmission of brief commands. Answer for the next one should be brief commands, right? Can relay essential information quickly. Example, to inform people about dash. Okay, he's talking about informing people about dash. Can relay the essential information quickly. Let's read further. Silbo has proved particularly useful when fires have occurred on the island and rapid communication across large areas has been vital. So, can relay essential information quickly means rapid communication. Rapid means quickly. Quick communication across large areas is vital. For example means he gives example here, particularly useful when fires have occurred on the island. So the answer should be what? Fires, right? Next, the future of Silbo. Future under threat because of a new dash. He says the future is under threat. Let's look for that word. This is the last paragraph, guys. But with modern communication technology now widely available, researchers say visual languages like Silbo are threatened with extinction. Okay, so they may die out. That's what they say. This is the word threat we are looking for, right? So, what do you think is the answer? But with the modern communication technology, wow, because of this technology, the Silbo are threatened with extinction. So, the future under threat because of new means modern technology. Technology is our answer, right? Next one. The Canary's authorities hoping to receive a UNESCO dash to help preserve it. So UNESCO is the keyword. We have read it in the last paragraph, right? So the local authorities means Canary's authorities are trying to get an award from the organization means UNESCO to declare as something that could be preserved for humanity. So they are expecting an award from UNESCO, right? So the authorities hoping to receive a UNESCO award. So that is the end of today's session, guys. I hope I was clear in my explanation. Please comment in the comment section if you have any doubts. I will be more than happy to clarify them. Please do not forget to like, share and subscribe my video. These videos are extremely helpful for IELTS aspirants, and you can fulfill your immigration dream of studying or migrating to an English speaking country. So until next time, goodbye, have a great day.